All right, I've just stared at my screen for the last 30 minutes thinking about how I'm going to present this. And I figured the best way would just be to start and talk. So, I'm Ryan Thomas, and I'm going to be running the first ever digital strategy workshop for introverts. So, I've been in business for about 16 years. And before that, I've worked in corporate roles, which I'll talk about later on. Uh, what I've found through my experiences is that the world of business is designed for extroverts. You go to a networking event and it's about being loud, it's about talking to as many people as possible, which is just an absolute drain for introverts. And to be honest, it's not a good use of your social battery. So, I was once told that the difference between an introvert and an extrovert is an introvert starts the day off with 5 coins. An extrovert starts the day off with no coins. Every interaction that an introvert has, they have to give up one of their coins. And every interaction an extrovert has, they get a coin. So if you imagine an introvert meeting with an extrovert, that extrovert just wants to take all those coins. So this workshop is going to be exclusively for introverts. There are 8 introvert personality types based on the Myers-Briggs personality index. So we're going to be using those. People have to pass that test, or pass the test. They just do a test and prove that they're introverted and they're in. So what's included in the workshop and why should you care? Why would you want to be at this workshop? All right, so it's a 4 hour workshop, which I know that sounds like crazy. It's a big chunk of time. Why would you want to spend 4 hours at this workshop? So, in the 4 hours, we're going to cover 5 modules. We're going to cover the value ladder. So, this is like when you go to McDonald's and you order a burger and they say, "Do you want fries with that?" They've got an upsell for everything. And that sounds super gimmicky, but usually, and the way I like to work is I like to map out what you do, the problem that you solve for someone. And then once you solve that problem, what's the next problem that you can solve for that person? Keeping it within obviously the business and the services that you provide. But we want to map that out and that becomes a customer journey. So if for example here, if I helped someone build a website, I might then say, okay, would you now like me to advertise it for you? So that's an upsell. And I'm not doing it in a gimmicky way. I'm saying, you have a website, let's get it in front of people. Here's how we do it. So it's about solving that next problem. So we'll learn how to do that for every business type that's in the room on the day. And the beauty of having 4 people there, 4 introverted people, is that everyone's going to think deeply about this stuff. So that's going to create really good conversations, and we're going to uncover ideas that us alone probably wouldn't have found. And I do this all the time with friends, um, even with AI now. I've started to do it with. So we'll do that in the room together. We're going to learn the offer creation framework that Alex Hermosi uses. So if you haven't heard of him, he's a 36-year-old billionaire. He's got 10 companies that make a cumulative total of around 200 million a year. He is a genius in marketing, and everything that he does is based off this offer creation framework. And the basis of it is to create an offer, so solve someone's problem, but you make the offer so good that they feel silly saying no to it. So we'll do that in the room as well. Then I'm going to give you access, exclusive access. Only introverts are going to get this. I was building this software. It's called the DS Builder, the Digital Strategy Builder. I was creating this to sell to the mass market. I've decided as of only a few days ago that I'm not going to do that. All the software, I've got a few things that I'm going to give you in this workshop. Everything that I've created here is going to be available to introverts only, and it's going to be the introverts' unfair advantage. So, what this platform does is it gives you a combination of things that you need for your digital strategy. So the first one is the profile. So you'll get access to a profile that looks similar to, like a social profile, okay? You'll be able to put your bio in there, put your social links, and then have this lead capture form. When you go to a networking event, you want every social interaction to be beneficial. Otherwise, it's wasted, and we don't want to waste our energy. When you meet people, someone worthwhile or someone that you can help, you present this page, click the share button, they'll scan this code, and it will open this page up for them. They can either connect with you through here, or they can send you a message through here. Ideally, if they send a message through here, is the way you want to go, because leads will be all captured into this this section here of the platform. Now, we ask for their mobile number because the platform will also allow you to send an SMS to them, so a follow up from this platform. And that was my personal addition. I don't do emails. I feel they waste my time and my energy, and it's basically someone else's to-do list. Someone's sending me things to do. That's not how I work. I do SMS. So I'm going to give you this platform. It does SMS. Now, this is the best part of the platform. So this is, it's a website builder that would replace something like WordPress. So WordPress was actually made about 22 years ago, and it's very dated technology. It's slow. It's every day there's a new security thing that has to be patched on it. It's old, and they keep updating it, trying to make it modern, but it's not. So I've recreated what WordPress should be now. So it's got lead capture, the SMS stuff. You can create quizzes. What else? Anything that you can make on the web, you can make in this platform. It's not restrictive at all. So an example would be this snake game that I made, which is like Snake on an old Nokia phone. So I think I've actually broken it because I was playing around with the code. But what you'll end up with is a page like this, okay? And you'll be in edit mode. And as you can see, when I'm hovering over things, you're getting this blue box. Now that is for design prompting. So when I click on this, if I want to change it, so for example, make the text center and use the full width. And then I will submit that. Okay, it's processing and it takes a second, and then AI updates the code behind in the background and applies the change. So yeah, I could just keep doing this all down the page. So make the background orange. So this is giving you a quick example of what it does. So it's processing now. Wrong orange, but I could have been more descriptive. So I'm going to give you access to this tool, and it's going to be your unfair advantage. Now, as I said, you can make anything that can live on the web, you can make in this platform. So a couple of examples. If you send people proposals, you will use something like this, okay? So most, how web pages scroll down. So this would be more like a slideshow. And that's just a web page. Now, if you imagine that you've just met someone at a networking event, you've asked them to go through your page, they fill it out, they put their number in, you get it instantly. You've got a proposal already made up in your platform. You just go in, and this is all mobile friendly as well, so you can use it on your phone. You go into your platform, and then you just SMS that person the page. They'll open the page on their phone, and then every single application in here will have some sort of action. So this is something that's happening with websites at the moment. because people are shifting from Google search to chatbots to answer their questions, you're going to find that traffic to websites goes down. The only reason people will go to websites will be to take action. They'll only do it to buy something, to book in somewhere, to download something. So there needs to be an action, or people don't have any reason to go to the site. So I'm going to teach you all this on the day. You're going to get access to this platform ongoing, collects leads. Now, the really cool thing as well is the analytics that's connected to. So everyone's using Google Analytics. Microsoft released this earlier in the year. It's called Clarity, and it allows you to watch session recordings of how people are using your web pages. Shows you where they're clicking. So those little orange dots that keep appearing, that's someone's finger pressing and scrolling on the page. Uh, we've got heat maps. We can see when people have had an error or couldn't access something, why they left the page. Maybe they were reading some text and then it didn't make sense, or whatever. So I'm going to show you how to use this tool as well to understand how people are using your web pages so that you can adjust them so that people can find or complete the action that you want them to take on your website. All right, so that kind of wraps up what the tool is that you'll be using on the day and ongoing as well. So that's what you'll get there. Now, so we've gone through, we've mapped out our value ladder, we've done our offer, we've built it on the day. So this is all happening on the day. You're going to leave with a live page that you can start sending to people. Then we're going to talk about distribution. So where and how do you distribute your page so that you can get those leads, get those sales? There's a few areas and a few ways that we can do that. And then, of course, as I just mentioned, we'll go over the behavior tracking. Okay, so all that stuff looks really cool. So why would you trust me to teach you? So I've built 2 businesses. I worked at Racing Queensland, and I started off as IT support, and then I went through to be the systems admin. While I was there in the first 12 months, I made one change to their core operating platform, which saved them $100,000 a month, so 1.2 million a year. I've also been investing in the share market since 2015, and between 2015 and 2017, I made close to 1.2. It was 1.18 or something like that million dollars. So that was on a trade with A2 Milk, which I bought back down here in 2015, and then sold it around here, and then rebought it back down at around 4. So all these things are all cross-disciplinary. So why am I talking about all these things? Well, everything has a system. Everything has a strategy. And strategy is the thing that I'm the best at. I'm not great at everything, but I'm very good at strategy. So another example, basically, yeah, what happened to me was I was going to work in 3D animation and games development. In 2006, when I was 17, I was in a car accident, and I broke my pelvis in 4 places, and I had brain damage. I couldn't walk and I couldn't talk. I had to learn to do those things again. After I'd recovered, it took about a year. After I'd recovered, the things that I was interested in beforehand all changed. It was obviously a big change for me. And yeah, the things that I liked doing, the animation, doing drawing, things like that, that all went away, and I became very systems focused. And it was because it made sense. It just made sense, and it made me feel safe. So I kept leaning into that and kept getting good at that. And then when I would get interested at something, I would create a system. I would figure out, I would reverse engineer how it worked. I would create a system and then execute. So there is a lot of noise online by extroverted people, extroverted workshops, extroverted everything. And all that noise is wasting time and it's draining our energy. So, in this 4 hours, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know about how to sell what you do. And it's going to change the way you make money. I'm super excited to deliver it. I hope you can make it. And if you have an introverted friend that runs a business that would be happy to prove that they're introverted by taking a personality test, and they've sold what they do to at least one person that's not in their family or a friend. So there's at least some demand for what they offer. I can help them and I want to help them. So share this with them and let them know that this is going to be an ongoing thing.